Dixie D'Amelio's in the news again.
I did see that.
Yeah, she got in trouble for one of the no-no words.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that...
You'd think in 2021 that we would have learned our lesson. And by we, I mean a collective, society. We.
And that one specifically, like...
Yeah. For those who don't know, she was on a live stream on Twitch. What game was she playing?
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
She was not following the objectives.
It
was chaotic from the start.
Which, some people go to Twitch more for the commentary, less of the game, so that's fine. But I believe the word she said, and you can bleep it out, maybe, Jimmy, bleep it out later. She said,
she did like multiple times.
To put it in context, she was calling her little sister's boyfriend a big and I don't know if she was talking about his or his but was the descriptive word that she kept using over and over, and I just think...
But also could have been some sort of body shaming, like, it's...
As a Scotch-Korean, a man of Scotch-Korean descent, I personally think it's a little tone-deaf to not acknowledge our Italian ancestors.
For sure.
We taught the world how to eat.
She didn't even gabagool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all of this being said... wow, she just got a new brand deal with Olive Garden, which, I don't think we need to assign nationalities to brands anymore. I think we've developed past that, but it's just very tone deaf.
Yes, it's a fair step to take. We're not taking any leaps here. That's the next logical step.
Right, and it would be the same thing as if us being affiliated with that brand deal we just got, and we were out here using words like
You can't say that.
Again, Jimmy, please bleep that. And I'm apologizing if I offended you in this moment.
I mean,
it was hypothetically quoting someone. Really just all this being said, I don't think that anybody who would identify as a or a would appreciate the use of such terminology.
No, not at all. Especially on a Twitch stream.
On a Twitch stream, and the D'Amelios themselves, I believe, are of descent.
Yeah.
Believe that, Jimmy. And now we look to you, the listener. What do you think about Lil Huddy being called a big? Do you think it was a reference to his personality, his physical size, the physical size of an object attached to him, a limb, if you will?
I will. Rangers of the New Republic got canceled.
You love to see it.
I mean, it's not necessarily canceled. There has not been an announcement except for the fact that it is no longer in active development, which means it's canceled.
It's canceled, yeah.
Which is like exciting because I was never excited for it.
It's just kind of like it'll
happen.
My life changed.
It'll happen, and I'll watch it. And then the Gina Carano stuff happened. And it's like, oh, how are they going to do that show now? Because it's very clearly a Cara Dune show is what it was going to be. And then it's just, they're not. That's the answer, is that they're not doing it, which...
Do you think Dixie D'Amelio could fall into...
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
Do you think if she's able to come back from this snafu, that she could replace Cara Dune in season 3 of The Mandalorian?
Yeah, without a doubt.
She could be the new Cara
sure.
Dune, yeah.
Something happened and she got aged down a little bit.
Oh, well, I think, we just a little bit of makeup could age her up. We just need to, get it bulking season, slap on
for sure.
2 to 3, maybe even 400 pounds to get her to be almost the size of Gina Carano. That might do the trick.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. I mean, that really changes nothing in my life, like I said. But maybe opens the door for a better Star Wars show to be put into production.
Yeah, exactly. There's now an open spot on the slate, and so everything might just move forward that's on the slate, or there's a possibility that we get,
or if we get some success from something else that we get a spin-off that we weren't expecting. Maybe that Jimmy Woo show.
Possibly the Jimmy Woo show, or maybe even Ezra spinning off of the Ahsoka show for his own show, something like that.
Yeah.
A spin-off of a spin-off, as you would.
Or just a live-action final season of Rebels.
Yeah.
Or, like, reunion season.
Yeah, which even like doesn't even have to be called Rebels, but like just something new, but it is just
it's that
follow-up to Rebels.
Yeah. Wow. That's all.
So, so there's a lot more possibility in Star... Because for me, that was... the only reason I was like, oh, cool, I'm excited for Rangers of the New Republic is because it wouldn't bog down Mando. And so I don't think it is going to, but like...
No, I don't think they're going to change the script of Mando or the trajectory.
They did talk about the 3 of those shows being the same like universe since they were at the same time. Mando, Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. So there's possibility for like a CW-esque crossover. But, I mean, now it's just Ahsoka coming back.
That would be a poggers moment if we got our, season 6 of every... Or episode 6 of every season is the big crossover.
But see, the hard part is that the seasons release one at a time. They're not all at the same time
concurrently.
So it would have to be like a cliffhanger, and then like a 2-hour special that tied the 3 together.
Or they're just all different.
Yeah,
like the people just come over and
exactly. It's not a crossover, or it's kind of a crossover, but it's just the characters. It's not the shows.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the shows aren't
intertwined. Yeah.
In other news, gonna dive in. Oh, okay. I'll let you finish that. Nice.
Yeah.
You can hear that loud and clear. So we've got Murphy's Multiverse, who is one of just a notorious scooper.
Oh, okay.
It's Charles Murphy. That's his website. And they were talking about Tobey and Andrew Garfield. Not Tobey Garfield. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Right. There was a lot of wires being crossed in my own brain as well as yours, probably.
And this is the quote. This is the quote that was said about these two gentlemen. I'm often ambiguous about stuff I know and can't share, but for what it's worth, I can say with certainty they are both in it.
He said that, or his source said that?
This is said. It's a writer from Murphy's Multiverse. So that's definitely information that he got because he is the head of that stuff and passed down to one of his writers. Which I mean, we can get a name on the writer so we can roast them too.
And they're speaking specifically of Spider-Man 3.
Of them appearing in Spider-Man 3.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. So this guy doesn't have an actual name attached to it. It's interesting. He's just superhero theorist. It's his at.
That is sus. Now, I do think I have reached a middle point where I used to be like, oh, they're for sure in it. There's no doubt in my mind, but I am slowly starting to doubt it. Which scares me. That being said, we have seen paparazzi photos of them allegedly on set.
And they were filming in Atlanta, and somebody said they delivered to Andrew Garfield,
and we have photos
of Tobey clean shaven,
and coming out of a building where they assumed it was costume check or whatever.
And apparently, Tobey's go-to look, what he prefers, is the full beard. So it's like,
I mean, that's what he's had since 2000, since Spider-Man 3.
Probably, and then shaved it for Great Gatsby.
Yeah. And then every movie he's been in, he's either not been in a lot of movies or he's had a beard. He had a beard in Brothers and that gambling movie.
Yeah, I could easily. What I'm more not concerned about, what I'm more on the fence about is the size of their roles. I think it might be boiled down to single scene. I don't think it's gonna be them help because all the rumors
teaming up for the
all the rumors were that the multiverse breaks open and then they all come through and they're like, we gotta help Coach Tom Holland's
we gotta
Spider-Man.
give you a full movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still okay with a cameo as long as they're in it.
I just want to see them interact with their respective villains again. I want to see Tobey interact with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin if that rumor is true, or even Alfred Molina's Doc Ock. That's something I want to see specifically.
I don't know what I want to see.
This movie is
There's just so many things.
It's got to be long.
I just don't want to even really hypothesize about it. Word. Because if I'm right, then I'll be annoyed that I was like, oh, I shot low, but I made it. Or I build up too much expectations and then it's not met.
It's lower.
So I'm just trying to I'm putting it out into the universe. I hope they're in it to as much capacity as possible. Whether that's one good scene or a lot of scenes, I'm still going to be pleased. I just hope that they are in it.
Would you be okay if they kill off Toby?
Sure, as long if they kill him off, it can't just be one scene.
Yeah.
It's got to be he's got to be a character for that. And he has to be Uncle Ben.
We already talked about this on pod. That's the best.
Cuz that even works for just the one scene. Yep, that can just be the scene.
My big want from this movie is just good Matt Murdock content.
Yes.
That's my hope. Is even if we just get lawyer Matt Murdock and not even Daredevil,
it'd be so good.
Just open the door for him to be in the MCU full time.
It'd be so good.
Ugh.
We could get season 4 in the Rangers of the Republic spot.
Be still my heart, even though those are different production branches.
Yeah.
It's
but
still
same with the Jimmy Woo,
still all owned under the same umbrella. Or even a single scene where they're in the courtroom and they're in the back area where he's being held and it's Matt and Peter are talking and Matt senses and both we get the Spidey sense and Matt's sense at the same time, and Matt immediately pulls out the cloth mask and tosses the cloth mask on, and we get just a single fight scene with the two of them versus Wilson Fisk's thugs or some shit.
That would be so good.
And then he's like, you didn't see anything or something
yeah, no, he pulls out the cloth mask and reaches for something pulls out his cane to break and then Peter just snaps at him open and then he's like I don't know. It's so good. Oh, that'd be so good. Or I don't even hate it if we're gonna meet him as lawyer first.
Oh,
that's the way to do it.
I think that's the way to introduce Matt Murdock. Even if he didn't have the show. If it wasn't Charlie Cox, introducing Matt Murdock to this universe as a lawyer, and then we slowly build up to Daredevil is so good.
That would be. That's clean.
Do you think we'll get Foggy?
No. That's too much.
Do you think the show will be canon? That's the biggest ask.
I think it'll be soft canon if they get Charlie Cox.
I think they will
because I feel like too much happened in season 3. Because Wilson Fisk knows.
Yes. So what I think they'll do is I think there's a possibility that it is I think soft canon is a good term for it because I think they'll pick and choose. I think they'll be like, okay, we want Charlie Cox.
Same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Exact same. And then we also want Vincent D'Onofrio as Fisk, but backpedal a little bit on that character.
Right. Yeah.
And then I don't care what you do with Karen. Toss Karen in the trash for all I care.
Even Foggy too. Yeah. I'm not in love with Foggy.
No, the 4 that I would like to see come over is Daredevil, Punisher, Fisk, Punisher, and Elektra.
Yeah.
So I like her as Elektra. She's good. She did very well.
She's dead, but again, soft reboot. So,
yeah. No, Defenders didn't happen.
Yeah. Bart Allen.
So neither of us watch Flash anymore.
It's been 2 or 3 years.
I fell off season 4, maybe? Well, okay, so season 1 is Reverse Flash. Season 2 is Zoom. Season 3, was that Savitar?
No. Was it?
I think season 3 was Savitar. Season 4 was The Thinker. I can pull it up. I can just
let's check that. I feel like 3 was Reverse Flash again. It was Reverse Flash, but also the Death Flash, the skeleton
the Black Flash.
Yeah.
That's
not what it's called. He's like the Reaper or something.
But I think it might be called just Black Flash.
In the show?
Yes, 3 was Flashpoint is what we started with.
Flashpoint.
And it was Savitar though.
Huh.
So 3 was Savitar because Savitar is caused by Flashpoint.
So I stopped after season 3.
And then season 4 is The Thinker, if I'm correct. Yes.
And I watched a few episodes here and there.
Where this was The Thinker. This is the way they made this dude look. It was rough. And then I stopped after season 4. I made it like 3 episodes into season 5 with his daughter from the future showing up.
Right. And I like watched a couple recap videos of that season just every time an Arrow crossover happened to kind of understand it.
Don't even know what 6 was. I'm just looking at the images on IMDb. Have no idea who the villain of 6 is. But that was Crisis on Infinite Earth season, so that was the big thing from that season. And 7 is currently going.
So we're in 7. Arrow ended at 7, right?
Yes. There is also a rumor that I almost brought up in our group chat, but I was like, there's no reason to discuss this because none of us care about this show.
Yeah.
We were just kind of talking about the suit. One of the key cast members is rumored to be leaving after 7. And so season 8 is rumored to be the final season. Because it's already confirmed for season 8.
That would make sense.
I mean, I personally think it should have ended at like 5.
Should have ended at 2.
2 is great. I love season 2.
1 and 2 were both really good.
But no, what we're discussing right now is we got the first official image of Bart Allen. We'll put it up on the screen. It's a little over.
The Photoshop, it's just too shiny.
It's too shiny.
They tried.
And
he put
looks
too much going on.
He looks doofy. I know he's supposed to be a kid, but this is a grown man.
It looks like he was smiling, and then they did like the AI filter to give him teeth. You know, like smile, like teeth in his smile. Suit looks great.
I like the way the suit looks. I've seen negative things about it, but it's extremely accurate. So it's like that's cool, and it's not leather.
Yeah.
But did you see the other picture he posted?
No, I did not.
He looks so much cooler. Like this guy, he just looks like a cool dude. He doesn't look doofy. Like there's like.
It's very shiny.
Yeah, it is very shiny. It looks definitely more metallic or like plastic.
Yeah.
But like he looks as a person looks cooler in this suit from this picture than that one that they released.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean that photo I think was meant to make him feel like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, which is
Bart is.
Bart Allen and not casting a kid is weird to me. Again, don't know the context.
Yeah, true. Like
maybe because they do a lot of future stuff. Maybe he's from the future. Maybe he's been his impulse for 10 years at this point.
I'm assuming that's what it is, especially since we've already met Nora. So maybe
I think she's dead.
I
think she dies at some point.
Oh,
she
yeah,
either
that's
dies or she returns.
No, I think she dies because it's between her and Iris, and Barry saves Iris, which obviously makes more sense because saving Nora would kill Nora.
Yeah, because Iris dies.
Yeah. So I vaguely remember that.
Oh, last season was Mirror Master.
Right.
It was they gender swap Mirror Master, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah. Well, didn't we already meet a different version of Mirror Master in
Yes.
like season 1? Yeah.
I think one of the early seasons it was like, and I don't even think they were straight up Mirror Master. It was that technology was introduced.
Yeah.
Man, the CW.
That's what I was just gonna say. CW shows, man.
There's also a rumor, if we're going to keep talking about CW, there is a Twitter that has been registered that could very well be false, probably is very false. It has the CW logo, and it's DC's The Bat Family. Not on board with it all. Not on board with even if that was like in the Titans universe. Like, you can't win me over on that. Especially... Did you see Stephanie Brown in Batwoman? They don't understand the Bat Family.
What did Stephanie Brown look like?
Oh, so you know what Stephanie Brown looks like in the comics, right?
Yes.
Blonde, young girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull this up for you.
A Emily Osment and Hannah Montana type.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, like a 20-year-old playing a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Or maybe give or take. One of the girls from Euphoria.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Just cast someone. Anyone can be blonde also. Like, that's the easiest look for a girl to pull off. Like, just give anybody a wig.
So you agree that blonde is pretty important, right?
I mean, it's... okay.
Do you see all the numbers written all over her?
Yeah.
They're not tattoos.
Well, they don't look like... Yeah, they look like Expo markers.
She was held hostage by Clue Master and became one of his clues. It's just so ridiculous. Like, Why did it have to be Stephanie Brown?
Pick any other person, make it no one.
Make it Vicky Vale. She looks more like Vicky Vale. It's so exhausting being a DC fan.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, because DC fans like never. Like the only good things that have ever happened are like Flash season 1 and 2, Arrow season 1 and 2, and even then it's like a pretty mediocre. Like it's great for CW, but in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of like meh. But also, like, whose favorite character is Green Arrow prior to Arrow?
I mean, I really enjoy Green Arrow, and that was one of my problems with Arrow. It's like we never got
Oliver Queen.
We never got true Oliver Queen.
We got Bruce Wayne Queen.
Yeah. I mean, there were moments where it's like, oh, we're getting closer, and then we just digress back because somebody died and he got upset.
Yeah, or he had to lie about something.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's fair, but like, I just mean
no, I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And even in that point being made, even though it was a good show, it wasn't necessarily a good Green Arrow show. It was just a good show. It was a good procedural superhero show.
And always, my mindset with DC stuff is if especially with Gotham, I've had multiple conversations with people about Gotham complaining that it's not accurate. And it's like, it's an Elseworld story.
Yeah.
Like, you give it that credit. And I think Arrow is a very good version of an Elseworld story. What if Green Arrow was a dark and gritty character? Is all.
Yeah.
And what if it
was produced by Chris Nolan?
Yeah. But like that's a great point with Arrow specifically. But Flash, you've definitely got a lot of people whose favorite character is the Flash, so it's a very interesting path to tread. And I think they did pretty well for the first couple seasons.
Yeah, I think that, and that's another thing. Like, if your favorite character was the Flash, you probably weren't satisfied. At least not consistently. Like, maybe you peaked in season 1 or season 2, or you had a bunch of problems with it because the suit was bad, or they changed some stuff,
He felt more almost Peter Parker than Barry Allen at times.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, is if you really are like a huge, like that's your favorite character, you've read those comics, those would be criticisms that you would really care about. Whereas like me, someone who's read like 10 Flash comics, maybe, like, I've just read Justice League stories with Flash, so it's like just kind of.
No, I'm right there with you. Whenever I read Flash, it's usually Wally West. I don't have an attachment to Barry Allen.
True.
Like, and then they bring a new 52 Wally West, which is also the Wally West that I didn't read. I read pre Wally West. When Wally West was actually Flash and not Kid Flash. So it's like, even when they brought in their own Wally West, I wasn't like, oh, you're doing this wrong, because I knew it's a different version.
Right.
Do you know how they retconned that when they brought the other version of Wally West back?
In the comics?
Yes.
No.
So there's the two Wally Wests. There's the white ginger and then the African American. They're cousins. Both named after the same grandpa. And it's
in the same universe.
Yes. And I don't remember how they did the whole Iris thing, because one of them was no longer related to Iris, or was cousins with Iris. Because so it's this big, just weird mess. And then they just talk about that at the start of Rebirth and never address it again.
So Iris has a brother or sister who
yeah, exactly.
Multiple siblings, one of which had Wally and another of which had Wally.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something like that.
That's the only way if they're all related.
I might be wrong. I just remember they were both named after the same guy.
Yeah, that's oof. We don't have to talk about it because my head hurts.
Yeah,
now.
no, it's just very interesting. But yeah, the CW is still going. Did you see that Titans season 3 got a release date?
No,
August. Better catch up.
Woohoo! Yeah, I'm on episode 3 of season 1.
I do think we should watch it, just so we can, because I don't want to just it, because it does do things good. Like there's stuff in there that I believe it does good.
Yeah, and I can't really speak to anything because I've not finished even the first half of.
But there's just moments where it's like, that was just, and I want to watch, because I know Red Hood is probably the DC character that I'm closest to, and so just that whole thing is just gonna make me angry just because of the way. Nothing against the guy. I don't necessarily like the casting, but nothing against him personally at all. but that's not how you tell Red Hood's story.
Yeah, I might even just jump in from season 3.
I mean, I was halfway.
Just roll with it.
I was halfway through season 2 when my DC Universe subscription expired and I didn't renew it.
Ah, yes.
So,
but now it's all on HBO.
Yeah, I could just jump in. That was.
Yeah, I'll just start at 3.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. Unsolicited recommendation that I'm very late on: the Sharknado series. They really understood what they were doing, and they leaned into it.
I know that they leaned into it. I've seen clips.
I mean,
from
even
most
in
of
the
them.
first
Are there
one,
5?
There's 7.
Holy.
No, there's 6.
Okay.
There's 7 Tremors.
I have seen the first Tremors is a fun movie.
I've seen every Tremors except for the first and the last.
You haven't seen the first Tremors?
I watched Tremors 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 in 2014. And 7 just came out in 2020, straight to DVD.
I knew it was straight to DVD. I knew they couldn't get back on Sci-Fi's.
Yeah. And yeah, I just it's never been on a streaming platform when I've looked for it.
What streaming platform is it on now?
It's not still.
So, 7 you're saying specifically. I thought you were talking about the series.
No, I'm talking about 1.
Oh.
So I watched 2 through 6 in a marathon on Sci-Fi in 2014.
I think the first one's on Amazon Prime.
That would make sense if it was.
Because I was watching Jaws, and I think I got it recommended to me.
That adds up. Similar poster.
Similar concept.
Yeah. Yeah, sand sharks.
Yeah, I feel like Tremors saw Jaws and said, "What if in desert?
And what if sci-fi would worm?" Yeah, and the fourth one they introduce ass blasters. They shoot lava out of their butts and they hover like chickens.
Do they call them ass blasters?
Yep.
That's magnificent.
It's great.
That's art.
That being said, Sharknado. I watched Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens.
Is that what it's called?
Yep. Actual title. And Tara Reid is a cyborg and has a lightsaber for a hand.
She's in the first one just as Tara Reid, right? Like basically that's her character.
She's I think in most, if not all of them. Yeah, just a quick.
So I've only seen the first one.
Definitely start at least at 3 or 4, because I assume they only get crazier. But the amount of quotes from other movies and pieces of media, unreal.
Do they change them like to be puns or something?
Barely, if at all. There's get to the chopper, come with me if you want to live. We're gonna need a bigger helicopter.
That's a good one. I'm on board with that one because it's a shark movie.
Yeah.
Quote Jaws all you want.
Yeah, there's a couple Jaws ones. David Hasselhoff plays an astronaut, and
what you know about rolling down in the deep?
That's the end of the pod.